Okay, let's unpack this. Picture this feeling. It's just sinking. You're going about your day, right? Thinking your digital savings are safe, secure, just tap away.
Yeah, it's the modern way.
Yeah,
So convenient.
totally efficient, instant, and then boom, in literally a split second, it's all just gone,
Oh,
every bit.
yeah.
That feeling, that assumed safety just vanishing, that actually happened to someone. And honestly, just thinking about losing everything like that, it's chilling.
It really is.
Mm.
And it highlights the dangers that are kind of hidden just beneath the surface of our digital financial lives.
Hmm.
The convenience is amazing. Digital wallets are fast, but like we're going to talk about, there are these weak spots,
Yeah.
vulnerabilities that can just devastate people.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what we're getting into in this deep dive. We're focusing right in on digital wallet thefts, the ones caused by scams.
Right.
We want to break down how these attacks actually happen, figure out why they still work, even with all the security talk, and most importantly, give you the tools, the knowledge to hopefully avoid them.
And our guide for this is the work of Dr. Puyan Gamari. He's a Swiss economist who really digs into digital economies' financial systems.
Okay.
Yeah, Dr. Gamari's analysis is great because he looks at both sides, the tech safeguards that are there, but also the, human side, the behaviors that get exploited.
So the mission today is kind of cutting through all the jargon about encryption and stuff.
Exactly. Find those real weak points and give people concrete steps, things you can actually do.
Right. So let's start at the beginning. Why are digital wallets just everywhere now? Seems like everyone uses them for something.
Well, it really boils down to a few powerful things coming together.
Mm.
Um, Incredible convenience, obviously.
Hmm.
They're super accessible and just really efficient. Think about making payments instantly, maybe across borders, without those crazy high fees you used to get hit with.
Yeah, the old bank fees.
Right. In today's world, that's a massive plus compared to traditional banking.
And there's definitely this feeling of security they project, or at least the companies push that idea hard. It's digital, encrypted, like Fort Knox in your pocket.
Yeah.
But that feeling seems a bit different depending on if it's, say, a crypto wallet versus like PayPal or Apple Pay.
That's a really good point. With crypto wallets, there's this strong belief in the blockchain tech itself.
Yeah.
It's decentralized, all this heavy encryption, consensus mechanisms.
Right, the text sounds impenetrable.
It contributes to this idea that it's like bulletproof.
Okay, and then you've got the big online payment guys, PayPal, Venmo, Apple Pay. They're always talking up their multi-factor authentication, their encryption, fraud detection.
Constantly, they market those features heavily, so it's easy to feel like you're operating in this really secure bubble.
Okay, so that's the tension, right? That's the paradox Dr. Gamari's work digs into.
Exactly. Despite all these security layers, which are getting more complex, these scams aren't just happening. Sometimes they're getting more effective. And like that case study he looked at shows, the weakest link,
Hmm.
it isn't always the technology failing.
It comes back to us, the users. The
Right.
human element again. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of that scam Dr. Gamari analyzed. The one where the woman lost everything. Walk us through how that actually went down.
Okay, so this specific case started with a phishing attack. It actually began on social media.
Social media. Wow, okay.
Yeah, the woman got a direct message, a DM, that was made to look exactly like it came from a financial service she used all the time.
Ah, so right away there's that familiarity, trust, almost, just seeing the name, the logo.
Precisely. And the message wasn't just some generic check your security thing. It was clever. It advertised a new security feature
Yeah.
and even hinted at rewards if she checked it out.
Oh, smart. Playing on wanting to be safe and maybe getting something free.
Exactly. Taps into basic human drivers, safety and reward. And crucially, the message had a link.
The link. That's always the danger zone, isn't it? Clicking links and messages you weren't expecting.
That's the key moment. That link took her to a website. And this website was, meticulously crafted to look just like the real login page for her digital wallet provider.
Wow.
Dr. Gamari really stresses how subtle the fake was. The only real difference was a tiny, tiny change in the website address, the URL, something most people just wouldn't spot if they weren't looking super closely.
That's scary because you wouldn't necessarily check that carefully if everything else looked right.
It was designed not to be noticed.
Hmm.
So because the site looked authentic and she'd already been sort of primed by the trustworthy-looking message, she saw the familiar login screen.
And she entered her details.
Yep, username, password, and this is the kicker, her two-factor authentication code. the 2FA code.
Oh no, but that's supposed to be the safety net, the extra lock.
It is. It's meant to be that extra layer. But in this situation, she basically just handed the second key straight to the thief.
Ugh.
Once they had her username, password, and that time-sensitive 2FA code, they had everything they needed. Full access. They empty her wallet in seconds.
Yeah. Gone. Wow. And like Dr. Gamari says, this is classic phishing, right? Something we hear about a lot. Basically, pretending to be someone legit to steal your info.
That's the heart of it. Create that fake authority, that fake security, to trick you into giving up stuff you'd normally guard closely.
Okay, so let's break down the tactics. What specifically made this phishing attack work so well, according to the analysis? What were the key ingredients?
Well, the first one, and maybe the most powerful, is that impersonation of trusted entities.
Right.
By copying the branding, the logos, even the way the real company talks in its messages, the scammers instantly make you lower your guard. It just feels familiar, safe.
Like seeing a friend's face, you just instinctively trust it more.
Exactly. The second big tactic is using urgency and fear.
Ah, yeah.
That message about a new security feature.
Hmm.
It plays on our desire to be safe,
Hmm.
but also maybe a little bit of anxiety that our account isn't safe. Framing it as something you need to do right now, it pushes people to act before thinking too hard.
Your account might be at risk. Click here now. We see that kind of thing all the time. It definitely makes you want to react quickly.
It does, creates a bit of panic. Then the third technique is mimicking the official website. That's called spoofing.
Spoofing, right.
Making a nearly perfect copy of the login page is super effective because it reinforces that feeling of legitimacy right when you're about to type in your details. You see what you expect to see, so you do what you normally do.
And that tiny difference in the URL address?
Yeah.
So easy to miss when you're just trying to log in, almost like it's meant to be overlooked.
Absolutely. And like finally, the thing that makes all of this work, the foundation, is exploiting the human element. Scammers know deep down that even the best tech security can often be bypassed if you can just manipulate the person, manipulate their trust, their psychology.
It's like they're not just hackers, they're social engineers.
Yes.
Experts at playing on our instincts, our trust in things that look official.
That's a really good way to put it. In many ways, that's exactly what they are. They understand human behavior patterns and how to exploit them.
So, given all the security features that these wallet companies talk about, MFA, encryption, all that, why are these scams still working so well? Dr. Gamari points out a few key reasons, yeah.
He does. And the first one is maybe a bit counterintuitive. It's overconfidence in security.
Huh, how so?
Well, because a lot of people haven't personally been hacked or scammed, there's this assumption that their digital wallet is basically foolproof.
Ah, the it won't happen to me thing.
Exactly. And that can make people a bit complacent, less watchful, more likely to fall for a clever scam.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
The second reason he highlights is potential weakness in authentication protocols, even things that seem really strong, like two-factor authentication.
But we just saw how that failed.
Right. As we saw in that case, if a scammer can trick you into giving them that second code willingly, then the 2FA doesn't help much in that moment.
So it bypasses the tech by tricking the person?
Precisely. And unfortunately, scammers are also finding more technical ways to bypass or intercept 2FA sometimes too. It's not the absolute iron shield people might think it is.
Okay, not foolproof. What's the third point?
The third one is just the constant evolution of scam tactics. Scammers are incredibly adaptable. They learn. As the security tech gets better, their methods get sneakier, harder for the average person to spot.
So it's an arms race, basically.
It really is. Those fake emails, the spoofed websites, you're getting really, really convincing. And like we said, their social engineering tricks are getting more advanced too. It's this relentless cat and mouse game.
Feels like you always have to be looking over your shoulder online.
I can feel that way.
Yeah.
And then finally, a really big factor is simply insufficient user education.
Meaning people just don't know enough about this stuff.
Yeah. A lot of folks lack a solid understanding of just basic online security hygiene, especially when it comes to these specific digital wallet scams, phishing, fake sites, the social engineering we've been talking about.
So the platforms can build all these fences, but if the user doesn't know how to spot someone trying to trick them into opening the gate.
Exactly. Those features can end up being kind of useless in that specific attack. It's like having a fancy alarm system, but leaving the front door wide open. That knowledge gap leaves a lot of people vulnerable.
So, wrapping this up, the main takeaway here, really echoing Dr. Gamari's points, is that, yeah, digital wallets are super convenient, but that human element, it's still a major vulnerability, a vulnerability that scammers are laser focused on exploiting.
Mhm.
The security the platforms offer, it's important, no doubt, but it definitely has limits, especially when we are the target, not just the tech.
That's the crucial point. We can't just passively rely on the platforms to protect us completely. We have to be active participants. Education, caution. It's on us too.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Okay, so here's something for you, our listener, to mull over. Given how fast these scams change and how much seems to depend on us staying alert all the time, what are the most proactive things you can actually do starting today to really lock down your digital finances? Because it's clearly more than just a strong password and turning on 2FA. It's about building a smarter, more critical approach for navigating this whole digital world, something to really chew on and maybe act on.